Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black entrepreneur experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards, a powerhouse Black woman who believes everyone deserves a seat at the table. She is CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z, a nonprofit association of women inventors and entrepreneurs, AOWIE. Welcome, Lisa Ascolese.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. I've given our audience such a brief bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your businesses?
Sure. So I'm a diehard inventor. I say I came out as an inventor at birth. It's in my DNA. I was interviewed by PBS the other day, and they said, how does one become an inventor? And I think you don't become an inventor. I think you are. You're born to be who you are, right? It's in there. It's in utero. And prior to that, anyway, so I have been inventing products since I was about 9 years old, and not knowing I was inventing anything, just recreating what didn't work for me. And what I started doing was really inventing, not knowing inventing, but creating products and selling items in school, because people would ask, where'd you get that from? What are you wearing? Whose design is this? I would do things to my shoelaces and hair accessories and things like that. And so moving forward many years later, I developed a product called the Bosom Buddy Breastfeeding Cape. And I use this one in particular because I sold it nationally and internationally. The Bosom Buddy Breastfeeding Cape came to life because I was very, very nervous to breastfeed in front of anybody. I was very young when I had my first child, and it was embarrassing. I was at home with my parents. Somebody would come into the door and I'd be covering myself up. So I said, this can't happen. This must be happening for other women as well. You should be able to nurse your child publicly, privately. So I came up with my first product that I sold, Bosom Buddy Breastfeeding Cape. And then as it sold, the floodgates opened. When I knew that somebody actually wanted to buy something that I invented and created, I said, this is it. I must be an inventor. I must be an inventor. Now I got to take this and run with it, start a business. So about 30 years ago, maybe longer, I started a business called Inventing A to Z, where I help people develop products from a napkin idea, so meaning from concept to fruition, and everything in between, the right way. Because there is a right way and there's a wrong way of doing things, especially when it comes to developing products. Because if you're not sure of the terrain, you can spend a lot of money and just throw it away and never retrieve it, never get it back. So my day-to-day business is Inventing A to Z, where, as I said, I help you from a napkin idea all the way to the marketplace. And when I say the marketplace, I'm talking QVC, HSN, my television shopping network, which is Inventress Spotlight TV, and in retail, if you choose to go that direction. My other business, as you mentioned, is the nonprofit called AOE, the Association of Women Inventors and Entrepreneurs. AOE was born because of Inventing A to Z. I do one-on-one consultations with Inventing A to Z, but I couldn't get to the masses. So I said, you know what? I want to start an organization where I could speak to the masses, speak to women, mostly women, and some men are now following, coming into the AOE circle. And so AOE was developed because I do speaking all over, from Black Enterprise to Essence Ebony, and I've traveled all over doing speaking engagements. So I said, you know what? I want to do a conference where I'm inviting incredible women to come in and tell their stories, talk about who they are and what they're doing in their journey, in inventing or entrepreneurship. And so AOE is now a musically inspired conference that started in 2014 and is still going wilder, bigger and better and wilder than ever, in a positive way, because women are learning more about themselves, learning more about how to invent, how to become great entrepreneurs. And we have a good time. We have a good time doing it.
Advice you wish you had followed.
Advice I wish I would have followed was from my parents and my grandparents. Do it now. Do it now. Don't hesitate to do the things that you really feel passionate about. I'm doing them now, but I felt like I could have done them a little earlier. Okay, now I'm talking 30 years ago. So I'm talking I could have done the things I was doing 40 years ago as a younger child, being an entrepreneur, but I didn't know the terrain. So, but for those of you listening, start what you want to do now. When you have a passion to do something, don't wait. Do it now. I mean, today, right now.
There are so many brands and businesses, Lisa, that's dominating. Talk about a brand or a business that's dominating that you admire and why.
Oh my gosh. So I have to, one in particular is one of my clients. Her name is Grace Aaliyah. And I bring her up because I literally just got back from Tampa, Florida, brought her to HSN, Home Shopping Network in Tampa, well, St. Petersburg. She developed a line of satin-lined caps, right? Satin-lined, like beanie caps that turned into eye masks and pillowcases and baseball caps. And I mean, just blowing up the market because there's a need, such a need for hair breakage, taking care of your skin, keeping nutrients. And that's what satin does, by the way. So the market of satin against the skin helps prevent wrinkles and keeps your skin healthy and your skin, your hair healthy as well. So satin lined anything for me is where it's at. And again, happens to be my client, HSN, and just killing it.
Awesome.
So she's dominating the market right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want you to have a monologue. I want you to name this person, living or not. They've inspired you so much. What are you saying to this person, and who is this person?
Wow. I'd like to name a couple if you don't mind, if I can.
No, you can.
Okay, so I would say you can, you must, and you will. You can, you must, and you will. My grandmother, she instilled this in all of us from when we're very, very young. My mother, be proud of who you are, regardless. Just be proud of who you are. My mom, and because she was proud, and my mother has passed, and as has my grandmother. The incomparable Dionne Warwick. She is, her words, be your authentic self. She said it to me 25 years ago. She said it to me 3 weeks ago, and that has echoed in my head. And I reverberate that because so many women are not, so many men are not, but I'm going to talk about women. So many women are not. Women sometimes feel like they have to be like someone else, act like somebody else, elicit that behavior from other women, but be yourself, because it shows through. When you're your natural self, it shows, right? And I think that being yourself inspires other people to be themselves and act, not act, be natural. So I took that monologue where I made an epic novel out of that one monologue. Okay. Sorry.
I love it. Talk about mental wellness and entrepreneurship.
Oh, yes. So mental wellness is so important. I'm talking about sleeping, having a good night's sleep, eating well, hydrating, because if you don't have those elements, you crash in business. I'll use myself as an example. When you're an entrepreneur, or at least when I work 24 hours a day, and I'm talking in my sleep. I'm talking about when I'm sleeping. When I'm sleeping, I'm creating or recreating one of my clients' products, or naming or renaming a product in my brain constantly. So, and that could turn you upside down. It could exhaust you emotionally, physically. So it's really important to take that respite period, take a time out and just relax, eat, drink healthy, work out, because being an entrepreneur, you have to work, I think, much harder than those who are working your average. They know when they're going to get home and take their shoes off and have a glass of wine or tea or whatever it is. They know the cutoff. I don't have a cutoff, so it's important to take that rest.
Talk about managing your physical body and being an entrepreneur. And you talked about that a little bit about exercising, but what do you do personally?
I must go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I was going 7, but it's not always possible. So I don't put that kind of pressure on myself. However, I do take time to breathe, do meditate and pray every morning. Breathe, meditate, pray. That's how I start if I can't get to the gym. When I do go to the gym, I make sure I go into a sauna where I can again breathe. Breathing is so important. I breathe, I get on the treadmill, I do a little weightlifting, just a little bit. And that's what helps me. It really that's what helps my mental health. And when I don't do it, if 5 days have passed for whatever reason, I'm traveling, I feel it. I definitely feel, I'm not going to say depression, but I come down a little bit. I like to stay up. I like to be here. Well, sometimes here.
Fill in the blank. Thank you, pandemic, because
I have been able to speak with so many inventors who had products, ideas weighing on their minds for years and years and years. And many of them just came out of the closet and they were able to release and create and become entrepreneurs.
talk about your top 2 mentors and what lessons did they teach you?
So that would be my parents, my mother, my grandmother. They taught us. When I say us, I speak for my brother and my sister, but they taught me respect, to love and respect each other, love and respect your elders. And just, they helped me to understand that I am not here for myself. We are here to help and serve others. And I took that from both my mother and my grandmother. Well, my grandmother taught my mother.
Let's take a snapshot over the last 30 days. Lisa, what was your biggest win?
The last 30 days, my biggest win. Wow, that's my biggest win. There's so many things that I really want to celebrate, and people I want to celebrate. My granddaughter, she turned 11 months old last week, and that's a win. That's a win for me every day. To have a grandchild and to have a granddaughter, to have 3 children, and all of them having birthdays, I guess that's a win too, because they're getting older and I'm not. So that's the win. That's it. No, just being able to do what I do and share my insight, what I've learned about business, about product development, about loving and kindness. That's the win. I can say money. I can say I have products that are on air that are successful. But my win is my family. I have to tell you, being able to work and provide time and give of myself to my family and share, that's my win.
How do you celebrate your wins?
We eat. We get together and we eat. We come to my house, I cook, and we laugh, and we embrace each other, and we just have a really good time. My family, that's what we do. We're multicultural folks here, so we love food of all different flavors.
What inspires you to keep going?
Okay, I'm not going to keep on saying my family, but my granddaughter, her little face, She inspires me every day. She really does. She's actually my inspiration. I have her on my phone and go, oh, I can start my day. Look at this face. Look at this face. So what inspires me is really my clients. When I can help them to succeed in their business, or take steps in the right direction, implement little tasks that they can do, and they do them, and they succeed because of them, I'm happy. That inspires me. I like movement. I like momentum. I like when my clients have momentum and feel like they're succeeding at that momentum. That's what inspires me.
What is your zone of genius?
My zone of creativity, being able to name something, transform something. I can transform anything into how I need it to work for me. As I said, I mean, this is what I've been doing since I was a kid and didn't know. Transformation, being able to transform.
Why are you here? What is your purpose?
By the grace of God, I truly believe that I am here to help spread kindness and love. One of the things I really believe, and many people are here for that. I know that's many people's purposes, but my purpose, I really do, because I do. I feel I love all people. There's no hatred in my heart. And just to help people to understand how important it is to be kind and to be nice to others. Big part of it.
Talk about business continuity. What is your highest risk as a business owner?
Okay, my highest risk as a business owner, that was actually very easy, is to take on a client and invest in them, and they are not investing in themselves the same way. That's very, very risky because it's time. Taking on a client for me is a big deal, because I'm so passionate about what I do. And if I'm taking you on as a client, I have to love your product, because I don't take just any product. I have to really love it. And I'm invested, completely emotionally invested. So the time that I put in, I'm hoping that the client puts in as much time or more time and more passion than I have. I always say, if I have more passion about your product than you do, something's not jiving, we're not meshing. So that's the critical part.
What book would you recommend and why?
I just started reading it, and it is, oh my gosh, I have to go grab it. It's you know it. It's completely out of my, can I grab it? 1 second. Can I? We don't have to pause. You can keep talking. I could hear you. You'll hear me running in the other room to go get it.
Okay, go.
1 second. I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going. And here I am. How did I forget the name of this book? How did I forget the name of this book? Because I speak it into existence every single day. This is Think and Grow Rich for inventors. And the reason this is a book I would recommend is because I'm all about speaking life into existence. Think and Grow Rich is all about that. If you don't think it, you don't have it. You know, you are the words that you speak. You are the belief system that you have in here. If you don't believe in yourself or in anything that you're doing, it's not going to come to fruition, or it's going to take a long time. So believe it, think it, live it, and it will come to you if it's meant for you. And you know when it is. So this is the book.
Thank you for that.
Okay. And thank you for I can't believe it went out of my head that quickly.
What is something that we don't know about your industry that we should know about being an inventor?
Okay. I'm going to use how important it is to, again, put your whole self in it. Most people don't understand I'm going to say manufacturing, the manufacturing aspect of inventing. When you're inventing a product, obviously you want to sell it. So manufacturing something seems relatively simple, right? I create it, I build it, I manufacture it, no big deal. There's so many different levels to manufacturing a product, and you have to be all in. There are changes that are made constantly. There are language barriers that people don't understand, that there's just time. It takes a lot of time to develop, manufacture a product. And sometimes you'll get 10 to 15 to 20 prototypes before you get the actual product completed. So that's one of them. There's a lot of pitfalls in this industry, and but there's greatness too. If you develop a great product and you stick with it, you can do very, very well.
And Lisa, someone's listening, they have a product or have an idea for a product. What advice would you give them?
I would say, get your own journal, have a journal just for your inventions. Write down everything about the product. Sketch it. You don't have to be a professional artist, but sketch it. And I would say name it and claim it, right? And don't share it with anybody. Most importantly, do not share your idea with anyone. Keep it to yourself. And when you're ready, come to me. Go to my website, inventingatoz.com, or call me. I actually answer my phone, by the way.
Thank you for that. What is the biggest takeaway that you want our audience to receive from this message today?
I would like for everyone listening to know that, again, if you believe, you will achieve. Believe in yourself. Take the steps. I'm not going to say take the risk. Take the steps necessary, which is of the whole mind, body, spirit thing that we talked about a little bit. Believe in what you're doing and do it. Take the steps to do it. Really do it. Take action. And that's the journaling. That's journaling, writing it down, and naming it and claiming it.
You talked about risk. What is the costliest mistake that you've made in life or business?
All right, I'll use business because I'll use business as an example. And I'll use a product. So I developed a product that was not, it wasn't perfectly measured out. I was sent a prototype that it was perfect. The prototype was perfect. When the production came, it didn't look anything like the prototype that I built. And manufacturing is not cheap. It's not cheap. And so I had to pay for production. That was not right. And that was money down the tubes. So that is double checking, check, and double check. That's where I talk about the prototypes, having many prototypes. Okay. Not just one being perfect, but many. So that's one. I mean, there's a lot of things that pop into my mind, but I think in terms of what we're talking about, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that risk.
What does self-care look like for Lisa?
It looks like staying in bed. It looks like on a Saturday morning, having a cup of coffee on my porch when the sun is shining, and then after finishing my coffee, getting in bed and relaxing and meditating, sitting in a sauna, getting a massage, just that's everything.
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is creating, just constant creating, and not in a bad way. When I'm up at night, if something's keeping me awake, I write it down. I either solve it in that moment or I just write it down. And after that, I can go to sleep. So it's usually my creativity. finishing a plan. If I don't finish a plan during the day, I'm definitely up at night. I make a
What
production list every single day, and I check off my production list. And if I don't, get those things done on my production list, if I don't create another page and say, do this for the next day, that will keep me up at night.
what breaks your heart?
Anybody being mean to another person, that, just not respecting other people's hearts, that really breaks my heart. Anybody being mean to another person is really, especially to children, that's heartbreaking. I stay away from the news for that reason.
What brings you joy?
Oh, my granddaughter, my children, my family, that brings me joy more than anything.
The word is play. How did you play, or how will you play today?
I will play the piano today. I will play Pac-Man today. And I'll laugh a lot today. I'll play with my granddaughter tomorrow, not today. She'll be here tomorrow. But that's how I play. I have a good time. I have to share this. I have such a good time in my life. I literally have a Pac-Man machine, my own Pac-Man machine that I do play every single day. I play my Pac-Man, and I dabble at piano. So for those of you out there who think I play like Bach, it's not so. I'm not saying that. I just play, I dabble, I do what I love to do. I really do. And we should all do that. Think about what you love to do most and do it every day if you can.
What have you not done in life that you dream about often that you would like to do?
I would love to go back to where I was born. I was born in London. I'd love to go there, England, and just, I've heard it's such a beautiful place to be. The food is magnificent. The people are kind and warm. And my children have gone, but I've not gotten the opportunity to go back, but I will.
Talk to a younger you. What advice would you give to a younger Lisa?
Be kind, but don't always say yes. And believe me, I don't say yes to everything today. The younger me did. I would say yes. And sometimes put myself in situations that didn't make me happy. You know what I mean? Like I should have said no. Stick to your nose. Don't say yes to everything. But think things through. Think the question through first. Don't jump to a yes. If someone asks you to do something, give it pause first. Think about it, and then give your answer.
Talk about financing your business. How did you raise capital to start your businesses?
I was a saver, and I believe in saving for anything that you want. And I'm talking piggy banks. I always talk about piggy banks. I love piggy banks. If you're planning on getting a patent, right? Just say a patent. Patent could be anywhere from, or trademark, $700 to $1,500 to $5,000. If that is your goal, take a jar, label it, and put $1, $2, $20, $25, $50, whatever you can afford to put in that jar, label it, and create your, whatever it is you want to create, or you want to go on a vacation or build your business. That's how you start. People look at things in such a, you should look at a big picture, but some people look at things too big and it becomes overwhelming. Baby steps into your business, especially if you don't have the financing right away. An LLC costs $150 to start, $150. If you don't have it, it's a lot of money. Save for it. So my financing came from saving my money. My first product wasn't that expensive to manufacture. Might have been $3,000 to manufacture, and I saved for it. There are ways of financing. Small business development centers, many community colleges can help you do that, and it doesn't cost a lot, but so save. When you are looking to get business credit, starting a business, get rid of your credit cards. I don't care whether they're personal or not. Your personal flows into your business. So get rid of any credit cards you have. If you want to get a loan, small business loan, you have to get rid of your debt. So that's another way of financing. I didn't do it that way. As I said, I saved in order to start.
What is your best discovery?
That my best discovery is that, again, if you are determined to start a business, there's nothing that you can't do. That's my discovery. My discovery is that there's nothing that you cannot do if you put your heart and soul into it, your mind into it, and you say you're going to do it, put your words into it. There's nothing that you cannot receive and achieve. Nothing. That's my discovery.
Lisa, who is your ideal client?
An ideal client is a client who returns emails, who responds to phone calls, who does what they say they're going to do. Hands down, kind first. Manners. Respectful. That's my ideal.
When you talk about your ideal client, if someone is interested in working with you, how do they connect with you?
Usually via email. They can send me an email, which is info@inventingatoz.com. That's info@inventingatoz.com. And I would say go to the website, go to www.inventingatoz.com. And I actually, as I mentioned, I do answer my phone. My phone number is 732-647-5433.
Talk about your most memorable moment in life or business.
Okay, so my most memorable moment in life, in business, was walking through the doors at QVC, right? It was a biggie. Walking through the doors with my product, one of my products, through the doors. And I remember walking through those doors and saying, I'm coming back here over and over again. And that was over 2 decades ago. I was one of the only ones who looked like me walking through the halls of QVC. All right. And at that time, I said, they're going to pick up this product, because I was pitching. Okay. I was pitching a product that day. And I said, they're going to take it, they're going to air it, and I'm coming back over and over and over again. And I have. So that's a monumental moment in my life, business-wise.
What do you need now that you don't have to move the needle forward in your business?
Okay, that's a really good question. I always ask people to ask me for what they need. And I don't ask for what I need, because I think that, I don't know, I have a hard time doing that. So what do I need? I don't know. I can't answer that question. What is it? I guess I could always use more hands. I could use more hands in this business. Yeah, I would say that.
Is there a social cause tied to your business?
Well, there's always a social cause. I have, I don't know if you know about this, but Motivational Monday is one of the things I do. Every single Monday morning, I open up my world to anybody who wants to come in and talk about their business and kindness and sharing and God. And so my social cause associated with Motivational Monday and AOE is really about kindness and sharing kindness with others. I say we got to lift each other up 2 hands at a time, and sometimes you got to use that foot, right? So that's what my social cause is all about.
If someone wrote a book about you, what would they learn about Lisa that we don't know, that we should know?
What would they learn? Okay, I don't know. I guess they would learn that I'm super passionate and compassionate. I mean, they may know that. This is a tough one. This is a toughie. But I've gone through things. That's what they would learn. I've gone through things in my life that people do not know about that were very, very difficult. But I think in speaking and showing up like this, I could probably look like I haven't, right? Like I haven't gone through anything. People I've just received, and I've been able to do it because I'm lucky, or it was easy because I was raised with money and all those things, and none of those things are true. We did okay, but my parents had their lives. I had mine. So things were not always easy, okay, in my young adult life, but I pushed through them. That's what they would find out.
And how do you persevere and push through when you hit a bump in the road?
I look at the other side. I look at the other side. I look at where I am, what happened behind me, and where I need to be. I push through it with my prayers, and with passion again. If it's someplace I'm not supposed to be, if there's a bump in the road, sometimes you're just not supposed to go in that direction, right? If it's someplace that it's a glitch, I get past that glitch through the power, honestly, of positive thinking and telling myself that I will get there. It's a mind thing.
If you lost everything and you had to rebuild in 30 days, what would you do and what industry would you rebuild?
So in leaving what I do now, so you're talking about if I were to not do my inventing business and I had to start all over again?
If you lost everything, you could do the same business or not. So if you lost everything completely and you had to rebuild in 30 days, what industry would you rebuild and why?
I would do this all over again. I would hands down rebuild inventing A to Z. If I had to call it something else, I would. And I would do it all over again. Because I absolutely love it. It's my passion. It's who I am.
Talk about becoming Lisa Ascolese. How did you become?
So funny you're asking this question, because I promise you, if it wasn't last night, it was the night before, I laid in bed and I said to myself, wow, when did I start becoming Lisa Ascolese, or Lisa? Because my last name doesn't have to be associated with who I am. When did I start becoming Lisa? And I think over the last 15 years, I started becoming me, right? Raising children, you are your children. That's just, you're mommy. You're not Lisa, you're mommy. So as my children started to get older and independent, I started looking at myself again. It's going, wow, okay, this is me. This is Lisa. So over the last 15 years, I'd say really started becoming who I am, who I was born to be.
What are you most proud of?
I have to say my family. I'm most proud of my family. Then I'm proud of, I have to start, I'm learning to be proud of myself. Hard thing to do. Proud of the my accomplishments because I could share them with others. So I have many patents and trademarks. I know it's not easy to get there. It's not easy to do that. So I'm proud of some of my patents here behind me, and the fact that I could share again with others and teach others how to do it.
Let's talk about turning over that one big rock. What is that one big rock or that one big milestone that you want to accomplish, and when?
So I launched Inventress Spotlight TV this summer, digital platform where I bring in inventors and entrepreneurs to showcase and build their brands on my show. And I never gave it too much thought in terms of making it a national or international show. Because I take baby steps into things, right? And so I like to really build Inventors Spotlight TV into an international brand. There, I said it. Never said that out loud before. I want to build that show into an international brand. And now that I'm saying it, I'm speaking it into existence, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And congratulations on that with starting the network last summer.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yep, this past summer, it's amazing. And we're recording great inventors on every week talking about sharing their products and their brands.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The word is listening. What is that resounding sound or message that your generation is saying that we should be listening to?
We should be listening to people who are in our corner, who are positive, who have our well-being in mind, and who really mean it. Listen to your heart, because it really, your heart speaks volumes. And your inner self knows, it's like that discernment factor, right? Everybody, I believe, has a sense of discernment that sometimes they don't listen to. So I say this to say, because you can get involved with people who are not good for you, right? Emotionally, or, in your workplace, not good for you. You can discern that. So listen to your heart and listen to people, positive people around you who want to do well by you, who want to do good things for you.
If you could have dinner with one person, living or not, who is that one person you'd have dinner with and why?
I would love to have dinner with Oprah Winfrey. And because she's a great conversationalist, she listens, she cares. Yeah, I mean, for all of the reasons that most people have, I'm sure, that same answer. Oprah. Michelle Obama is another one. I mean, just that listening, that person who listens and cares.
Lisa, if you conducted this interview, what is the one question you would have asked yourself? I want you to ask the question and answer it.
So, what's my favorite thing to do? My favorite thing to do is laugh. I love laughing. I love happiness. We touched on that, but my favorite thing to do is laugh every single day.
And laughter is medicine.
It is.
It truly is. We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Rapid Round of Fun. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I'd like you to give me very quick answers. Okay. If there's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Rapid Round of Fun?
I am. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm ready.
Your first job.
The mall.
Your favorite color.
Blue.
Your favorite comfort food.
Pizza.
Your favorite holiday.
Christmas.
Your ideal car.
BMW.
The last movie you saw.
Oh, I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I don't remember. Not been to the movies in a very long time.
You relax doing what?
Laying in bed, watching Netflix, watching nothing, and just, reminiscing, looking at pictures in my phone, my granddaughter, my children.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
Favorite singer, that's a tough one. I'm going to Natalie Cole, Patti LaBelle, Dionne Warwick. I had to say more than one. I'm sorry. There's too many to say one.
Your favorite dance song?
Set It Off.
What food you eat every week, no matter what?
Broccoli rabe chicken cutlets.
Workout or hit the couch?
Workout.
Lisa Ascolese, thank you so much for joining us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. Before we let you go, share with our audience the best way for them to connect with you. Feel free to leave all your social media handles.
Thank you so much for having me. This was an absolute pleasure and a joy. My contact information is lisa@inventingatoz.com. Email me info@inventingatoz.com. Phone number 732-647-5433. On all social media platforms from Facebook, Lisa Ascolese, Instagram, _Inventress, Twitter, and Instagram, all the same.
Thank you, Lisa. That's a wrap.
Thank you.